guys, today is a little bit of a different topic. So it's about children. Now, someone asked me about this on my Instagram quite recently about my position of antinatalism because I wrote, I don't know whether I should have children and bring them into this world considering the way things are going. If you don't know how things are going, we have about 12 years to turn around this enormous climate issue we've done with carbon. So yes, otherwise we're all catastrophically in a bad place. So antinatalism, I looked it up and it said negative connotations with birth, and I thought about it. Am I an antinatalist? Do I want children? And I decided to make a video about it. So here you go. To all the people who know me, sorry, this is weird. This is very private. I'd like to start this video by saying having children is an extremely private and personal decision, and I believe that the biggest thing we need to do is make sure it is a decision. Bring children into this world consciously when you're ready for them financially, emotionally, in stable, loving homes, because it is our responsibility. I've always found it a little bit crazy that you need like 16 tests to get a driver's license or to go scuba diving, and you need 0 to have a child. Yet. Ugh. Let's talk about why would people be against children. Now, our population is growing at a rapidly increasing rate all the time, and it's 7 billion. Has it hit 8 billion? I don't know. Either way, it's going up, and because of this massive population, we need to use a lot of Earth's resources. Unfortunately, due to the way we're currently using Earth's resources by mainly depending on fossil fuels and commercial agricultural farming, we are screwing up our Earth. We are emitting way too much carbon into the atmosphere. We're not planting enough trees, which can't sequester the carbon back into the ground, back into the environment. So we are creating this whole situation where the rays which are entering our atmosphere now no longer can reflect as well as they used to. They get trapped within this layer of increased carbon in our atmosphere, and basically rising sea temperatures causes everything from increased algal growths, glacier melts, which means rising water temperatures, which means increased flooding, increased issues for island nations. Yeah, all of this stuff is also connected because of deforestation. There is less rain. Less rain means there is more drought, and then in some areas that means hurricanes and cyclones. So climate is all connected, and if you're curious about climate and if veganism can help save it, check out my video I did a few months ago. What was it? Children, right. So because of all these reasons, people hypothesize that the biggest thing you can do as an environmentalist is to not have a child. I think the statistics are astounding of how much your environmental impact increases if you do have a child, since having a child is equal to about it gives a lot of people the moral kind of dilemma of whether they should be bringing in a child into this earth. And that's not only because of the environmental impact, but what kind of future are our children going to have? Because at this point, it's looking pretty bleak. More plastic than fish by kilogram by the year 2030. No fish at all by the year 2100. It's exciting stuff. As a scuba diver, as an earth lover, I cannot imagine that my children are not going to see whales or dolphins or polar bears, and that, you know, they're going to be learning about this earth not by traveling and seeing the beauty, but by maybe just having to watch David Attenborough on repeat, because that's what I would make them do. So that's one side. What kind of world are we bringing them into? The other side is the environmental footprint of a child. And then there's the third side, which I haven't really heard discussed much, but then again, I haven't really looked into antinatalism much because I never thought about it that much, based on the movie Idiocracy. Have you guys seen it? If you haven't, it's hilarious and terrifyingly accurate. But basically, It is talking about how, generalization, on average, the places with the greatest population booms or with the greatest amount of children are typically areas which have the lowest rates of education, health, possibilities to do anything. So these children are potentially stuck in these cycles of poverty, potentially stuck in cycles of violence, malnutrition, all this negative stuff. Which means slowly a greater part of our population is going to be in that worse off kind of demographic. While educated people or earth conscious people are abstaining more from children or only having one or two. Of course, I think every child can learn whatever they want. I'm a high school physics teacher. I studied physics. I'm a woman. I did the things that people didn't expect a woman to do. I have no prejudice against anyone. But I do feel that the way your parents raise you has an enormous impact on what kind of person you become. And I'm very thankful that my parents raised me in a way where I've traveled the world, where I lived in so many different countries that I never knew that racism or prejudice or, you know, hatred of religions existed. I was just taught to love everyone and respect everyone's culture, and when you go to someone's home, you respect their rules because it's their home. Side note, this is part of the reason I'm really against killing sharks. Like, we're going into their home. Anyway, I feel that I would like to have children for this reason, is because I hope I could instill some very positive and earth-loving and all these kinds of traits or belief systems into my children by raising them in a way that's vegan, that's low waste, that's low impact in general, teaching them to love our oceans, teaching them to love animals, to respect one another, to respect people. And I kind of feel, you know, at the end of the day, if we really get down to biology, children are the purpose of life, or that's what we've been put on this earth to do if we look from a science stand. I feel like I'm just digging myself into so many holes, but this is just my opinion, okay? So just, yeah, I would love to be able to teach, you know, the future generation some of the things I've learned, and this is why I'm a scuba diving instructor. I love teaching and I love being able to share my knowledge and seeing people understand that and absorb that. This is why I became a high school physics teacher, is because I loved being able to, you know, help people in areas they weren't so sure about. And I think that's why in the future I'd like to be a mother and be able to instill all my life's work, you know, into this tiny human. Of course, also would work in terms of adoption, and I think adoption is a fantastic thing, and if people have the means, they should definitely consider it or do it. And I think that's something I'd like to do in the future as well, as you know, that decreases the whole environmental footprint of bringing a new mouth to feed into the world, and gives the benefit of being able to instill positive and loving beliefs. So yeah, those are my thoughts on having children. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts? Are you going to have children? Do you not want to have children? Give me your reasons. I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and of course, you know, sending you guys a lot of love, and thank you so much for watching my video. If you're curious about anything to do with sustainability, scuba diving, veganism, this is the place for you. Please feel free to like, subscribe, hit all the buttons, you know the drill. And of course, I do have a website where you can check out plenty of epic resources to go vegan, to go plastic free, and a Facebook group where we talk about how to help our earth. So there's plenty of ways you can get involved and to join the fight for our earth. So yeah, thank you guys. Bye.